Alright, so if you're tired of your Samsung, because these are aggravating, rods go out, boards go out, you name it, it goes out on these old Samsungs, and they're just terrible. You're tired of it, and you say, you know what, I'm tired of these little buttons. I don't want these little buttons. I don't want this thing to sing at me no more. I want a plain Jane washer machine. I want one that has none of this, has the agitator, nothing fancy. Well, I got some bad news for you. They don't make a plain Jane timer-based washer no more. But I got some options for you. Let's take a look. So you've sworn off Samsung, and you take a look at this GE here. It's a GE, has 3 dials, has an agitator, and you're like, this looks really good. I really want that. In my personal opinion, I could not tell you to stay away from this any faster. In my opinion, these are worse than the Samsungs. I see more of these than I do any washer. Let me show you what I would recommend. If it was me and I had to buy something brand new right now, right this very second, it'd be one of these, an Amana. Now, it looks plain Jane. You're like, oh, this doesn't have anything. It even has an agitator in there. Woo, and I slam it down. But this is not timer based like the old ones. This is still a dial. Not sure if that's picking up. These are not timer based either. If I had to buy one right now, this is what it would be. Something like this. This is an Amana. There are also Ropers, Whirlpools, Maytags. There's plenty of these manufactured by other people. In my opinion, or it appears that the Amanas go on sale more often. And this, if I had to buy one right now, brand new, would be an Amana like this, simply because I can't afford a Speed Queen. So what goes wrong on either one of these two? Because they do have their fail points. The Samsung, everything goes wrong on it. But let's talk about this one is the GE and this one is the Amana. What goes wrong on these and why I still like the Amana? So this GE does have the agitator, as you can see, and it does have the 3 dials. I personally do not like anything about the GE at all. I don't like the way the buttons feel. I don't like the way that this twists past the setting. Not sure if that's picking up. I don't like that. This one's had 2 control boards. This one right here has 2 control boards that it's already had replaced. Manufacture date on this is 2020. So in 5 years, this one's gone through 2 boards. Ridiculous. One thing I absolutely hate about this one right here, this is the GE still. You see, it's very deep in here. Very deep. When something goes wrong, it'll feel all the way up and stop and go into soak mode. That's aggravating, because then you got to get all this water that's up to here out of this thing. And you get someone, this one actually came from an elderly couple who had no clue on how to do that. When I picked this thing up, it had water to there sitting. It had been sitting for a while. I really don't like the way that happens. I wished if something went wrong, it wouldn't fill up. It would just stop. It wouldn't do anything. Unfortunately, that's not the case with this. These locks can go bad. These locks can honestly go bad on anything. That's not necessarily just a GE problem, but they just can. And I just don't like that. I really just don't. I don't like the way these feel. I just don't like these machines. One more issue that I have encountered with these GEs is this start button right here. If you get like a little crack in the start button, behind it, or wherever it may be, and you try to push, it for whatever reason just doesn't push, and it just doesn't do anything. So I've actually had some where it's just as simple as that start button being bad. It's aggravating. Again, let me try to show you better. That right there really gets on my nerves. I don't know why. That really gets on my nerves. Same over here. Like, why does that happen? Now on to the Amana. This is the one that I like. This is the one, this is it. If I was to pick one right now, it would be this. It would not be a Speed Queen because I can't afford a Speed Queen. It would be an Amana. Specifically Amana because they're, for whatever reason, they're cheaper, or at least locally, they're cheaper. Look at how simple this is. I mean, just super simple. I've got my little readout here, my little start button. Easy to read. In my opinion, this is easier to read than the GE. My switches don't go no further. I can't move them any further. Like it acts like it should. Not as deep. Still has an agitator. Not as deep, but listen. Sounds solid. What can go wrong on these a lot of times is this lock right here can go bad, just like the GE, and the rods can go bad. This one actually has bad rods. I got it in on trade because it has bad rods. They're not like the frames like they used to be. They're all sort of rod based now, and that's sort of it. Now the control panels can go bad on these. I've had to replace a control panel, not on this one, but on one of these before, and they're really easy to get to. They just really are. Let me show you the backs of each of them and why this one is still what I recommend. All right, so like I said, this control panel is bad. This control board is bad. So this back is off of here. But other than that, this is the GE. Other than that, that's really all you can get to in the back. Let me show you what I mean. There's no screws, nuts, bolts, nothing back here. Nothing. I do have my drain right here. Other than that, I can take these two off and sort of get to my drain through this little cubby hole. But that's really about it. There's nothing else I can take apart in the back. So rods on these is not a lot of fun. Let's take a look at the Amana. All right, here's the Amana. Control board is in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think you gotta take that off. 6 screws. Done. You can take the whole back off. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screws, or 9 with the drain down there, and the entire back comes off, and you can inspect things much better. You can look at things much easier with this. If I have a leak with this that's coming from the pump, let's say, I can take this whole back off, and then the pump is sort of up and under, but I can see it because the back is off. I can't with the GE because for whatever reason, they did the GE this way. Now I know nothing's like it used to be where you could sort of fold over the frames anymore, but this, I like this much, much, much better. So when something does go wrong on the Amana, it's much easier to fix, much easier to get to. Everything about this is so much easier. So the Amana is my choice all day, every day. Amana, Whirlpool, Maytag. If you can find them Kenmore, I don't think they even make them anymore. This is what I choose right here. This girl. So if it was me, if it was my hard-earned money right this very second, right now, and I was done with Samsung, it would be this one right now. Hope it helps. Thank you much.